The distressing calls I've received from my constituents who are about to lose their jobs because for one reason or another they choose not to accept the current vaccines available. These are some of the worst calls I have taken in my life as a parliamentarian. There is simply no historical parallel for governments trying to restrict the movements of healthy people over a respiratory virus in this manner. People that have not had COVID and chose not to get vaccinated may or may not be making a wise decision, but if they are principally putting only themselves at risk. We are a fractured nation of people who are hurting, and I don't understand why more of us in this House aren't standing up to call out this divisive and repugnant discrimination. Vaccine mandates are not only unconscionable, they are criminal. Over the past 9 months, I've spoken with hundreds of people in distress, many who are suffering on a scale that I find difficult to comprehend. I'm sure that my fellow members and senators are also receiving gut-wrenching stories as well. I am not vaccinated, but I believed I had actually done the right thing and protected my body in the way that I wanted to protect it, in the way that the choice that I made, and the choice that all of those demonstrators out there were talking about choice and freedom and not having imposed upon them by politicians in this place and others the things that they do. I have only ever put forward views of those I represent who cannot be heard otherwise. What's causing our nation's first-class health system to crumble in so many areas? There's a lot of blame being attributed to workforce shortages and staff being sick with COVID and other flu viruses. So why isn't the Health Minister putting pressure on the state counterparts to drop the insidious and redundant COVID-19 mandates and reinstate our heroic frontline workers who remain unable to work because they are not vaccinated? These miserable mandates are despicable and cruel. They are a national disgrace. The Victorian and state governments need to stop these mandates now. I won't muck around. I'm here to stop the jabs, send the mandates, protect the kids, tell the truth, my body, my choice. Please, tell me I'm wrong. Look around our nation in the aftermath of the pandemic response and it's like looking at a train wreck of devastation for many everyday Australians. Everyday Australians who still not have been allowed back to work due to vaccine mandates. Regarding mandates, the World Health Organization, the former Secretary of the Health Department, and even President Biden have all declared that the pandemic is officially over. Yet mandates persist. How is it that anybody with an ounce of common sense cannot understand that the COVID mandates were a complete failure in stopping transmission and infection, and that to continue them in any setting is farcical? Today I call on state governments across the nation to remove all mandates and allow unvaccinated frontline staff to return to work. Here we are almost 3 years down the track, and it's well known that the vaccine does not stop infection or transmission. Yet we still have workers sidelined due to mandates. I will not rest until all COVID-19 vaccine mandates have been lifted and these Australians have been allowed to return to their professions. Desperately needed frontline workers in Victoria who are still mandated to have 3 experimental COVID injections. Stop these mandates now. It seems to me the upheaval causing anxiety, hopelessness, fear and incalculable economic repercussions may well be worse than the virus itself, with possible long-term and deep consequences. The human cost and suffering caused by our pandemic response continues to this day, and governments across the nations should be held accountable. That's justice as I see it.